Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. It's a good thing that New ED is just like so energetic, so hype, because this episode messed with me. I mean, when you get a title like Breakup, my natural thought, our boy gonna break up with Hina, try to keep her safe, keep her out of harm's way. That got twisted on its head. I mean, who we probably were assuming, even though it was too good to be true. You know, naturally, maybe because Takemichi saved Draken's life, third commander, even though he wasn't a part of the gang, you know, it wouldn't be impossible. To see the worst possible person become 3rd Division commander, and then to have 1st Division end up quitting, Takemichi punching said new commander, getting wrecked himself, to then ending up in a deal where, should he bring back this man, he will have proven himself to be more useful than Kisaki, meaning that point he would probably be 3rd Division commander? This episode messed me up in the best possible way. Tokyo Revengers, I mean, for having an episode set in a single location, them having their ceremony, right? It was a roller coaster. I mean, I talked last week at a pretty good extent of what I thought the series would go. And this episode, from the title to the intro, I was like, okay, it's going exactly where I think. We're gonna have our boy break up with Hina to keep her safe, because the more people that are close to him, the more dangers that will be thrown his way, especially if he gets further and further invested in this gang. But instead, we not only don't get him promoted, because he wasn't even a member, so it does make sense, but it wouldn't be impossible to right away for Takemichi to end up captain in that situation. It's simply put, he saved Draken's life. You could have the exact same outrage that you had with Kazaki becoming the commander, right? So instead, putting him, because they're going after a gang and you need kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of a thing. So even though someone like Mikey's not an idiot and recognizes that he can't be trusted, he also needs strong people. But when you bring in strong people, other strong people might leave as well. And the fact that one of the founding members just upped and left, seemingly because, if we look at the episode, there's actually 6 founding members, that says a lot that Mikey probably doesn't respect that person, and that's why he says there's 5 founding members, and maybe that was a wedge, you know. Eventually there came a point where, you know, the loose cannon, you know, he decided, this isn't where I want to be, I'm going to go with someone who you disrespected too, maybe that's the direction. Either way, I was not expecting Takemichi to stand up for himself. It was stupid, don't get me wrong, but I can't lie. I gasped out loud. I was like, I did not see that coming. When you see the smug smile, when you see this bastard, how proud he is, you know he's up to no good. I thought Takemichi would like, almost like a wedding thing, right? You know, if anyone has any issues, speak your piece now sort of a thing. I wasn't expecting a fist to the face, but I honestly think, despite the outrage, Mikey probably was impressed with that. Because while everyone else was ready to kill him and some actually did attack him, Mikey sticking around at the end, I truly feel like Takemichi has the potential to really change the entire course of fate. And it's not going to be an overnight thing, it's going to be a very long grind, and even if he becomes the top of the top, there'll probably still be issues. Characters like Saki aren't going to go anywhere anytime soon. They're going to be around even if they don't stick as 3rd Division commander for long. But the fact that there's this like ultimatum, right? You know, the fact that like, bring him back and prove you're more useful than him. Does that mean he gets the promotion, or does that mean he just gets something better? Either way, for Takemichi, as long as this man isn't a part of the gang, in theory anyway, it should be A-okay. It's actually probably one of the more interesting points of the episode, because it almost happens right off the bat there, right? You know, after everyone's done arguing and saying their piece, Draken is visibly upset that this man got promoted. And as soon as Takemichi punches him, he immediately lashes out at Takemichi. Everyone knows their place. Like, even if they have a lot of discomfort for what someone like Mikey is doing, you follow the chain of command and you don't break formation sort of a thing. And the fact that Mikey, of all characters, wasn't really pissed off at him, I think says a lot about the type of connection. It clearly is going to be a competitor, right? Will Takemichi influence Mikey more than someone like Kisaki will influence Mikey? Because without Takemichi there, we know what happens. We've seen the future. It's just so cool to see how it's working. And while, yeah, if this was a typical happy-go-lucky show, Takemichi would have been promoted right then and there. There would have been no conflict. And by the end of episode 24, game over, he wins happy-go-lucky. There's a lot of manga volumes out there, so there's going to be a lot of struggling and hardship. But I think the way they introduce conflict while also showing how Takemichi's definitely evolved over these episodes is really impressive. Like, it's stupid that he punched him, given the circumstance, he doesn't even really know why. But that smug smile needed a clock to the face, and I'm glad he did it, even if he almost did get killed because of it. And the fact that Mikey is giving him that chance, even though he said he would kill him should he fail, I don't think he's gonna die anytime soon, so either A, he's not being serious, or B, he's going to solve this current issue at hand. And I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. I mean, our boy is officially a part of the gang, but seriously, anything is possible, right? I mean, Tokyo Revengers is one of those shows that you can, like, speculate and just spitball ideas all day, and even when they sort of come true, they never happen in the exact way, and if they do, you don't see the next objective or obstacle coming. And seriously, I mean, the fact that there's a hidden, seemingly anyway, hidden extra member who was part of the kind of like founding fathers of the gang, I'm really interested to see why Mikey didn't list him or talk about him, right? Because to me, that definitely says he doesn't respect the guy anymore. And if this man is quitting one gang to join up with his former comrade, that means he must respect him more, right? So I think that's going to be pretty devastating. I mean, I don't know how Takemichi will do so, because the person who literally kicked his ass is the one he has to go recruit back. And maybe there will be some form of like, okay, he gets his ass handed to him, but he stands up, you know, you do this for me, maybe I'll do this for you. But seriously, like, it just feels like Takemichi has the worst hand, and he's supposed to try to win $1 million right now. Like, how is that going to happen? And you know eventually he'll solve issues, but with solving, new issues come up. Because even if, say, Kisaki is, like, pushed away from the gang, it's not like he's going to stop being a troublemaker for them and everyone in the future. I mean, there's still the uncertainty, is there another time looper other than Takemichi? Is he a time looper? I mean, there were some shots that made it look like he recognized him, and, you know, he was like, oh shit, you know, this means he's probably looping with me. Or is that just a red herring, something that we're supposed to think was there but really wasn't? Is there even a second looper? We don't know, right? So there's all these extra obstacles, and it almost feels like you're supposed to be paranoid. You're supposed to take the things at face value while simultaneously trying to think of extra things that could screw us over, and in doing so, we're missing the obvious things that are an issue because we're imagining extra ones. There very well could just be Takemichi looping, but we're so focused on trying to find another one that we're going to miss the obvious things that are going to bite him in the ass, and that's going to be really devastatingly, well, painful but entertaining to watch and see how it occurs. I'm really excited for this next core here, and I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard some people say that this next core will be even better than the first, which is a really great sign, I have to say, but even if it matches or even is a bit less of what we saw in the first core, Tokyo Revengers is clearly still going to be a goddamn amazing show through and through. But let me know your thoughts and feelings, definitely those theories down below. Where do you think it's going to go with next week's episode? What do you hope to see with this arc in general? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.